Okay, welcome back. My question to Laurie, the issue of stigma, how much role does it play in gender-based violence, particularly women and girls? Because you find a girl is raped and she complains if she has, that enough confidence to do that, and then the situation is turned around against her. Why did you wear your dress like that? Why did you go to this particular place at this time? How does this take away stigma, from women coming out to be able to say, okay, this is what happened to me and I need help?
Thank you. I think it's an excellent and really important question. So you're absolutely right. A lot of the times when women or girls have the courage to speak out, they go to the police station and then they're interrogated. Exactly what you're saying. What were you wearing? Why were you wearing this at that time at 10 o'clock in the evening or whatever? So suddenly it's their fault. And they have to justify their actions, which is incredibly difficult when they've just gone through a very grueling, violent episode. So I think that's got to be something we get better at, and not necessarily put the onus on the women to have to defend themselves for having been the victims of violence. And I think that's a really important point. And it's precisely because of that a lot of women do not dare speak out, because they know it's going to be even more painful. Rather than getting the support and the comfort that they need, they may get more interrogation and aggression, if you like. The stigma goes beyond that. However, it is a stigma of having been, as we say here, defiled. And I think in Nigeria in particular, there's a sense that women should be pure, and when they have been raped or defiled, then they are not seen to be pure in that same way. So there's a shame associated with that. There's a shame about people knowing something deeply intimate and personal about yourself. And there's a sense also that you might not be believed. There's a sense that people might not trust what women are saying. And that's not just in Nigeria. So we see that across the world. If women speak out about rape, it's her word against his a lot of the time. And that's incredibly difficult. And that's why women have to be able to speak with confidence about these issues, and we have to believe them. Unfortunately, if we look at the statistics, the number of rape cases that lead to conviction, the share rather of rape cases that lead to conviction, is incredibly small. Most cases are dismissed for lack of evidence or because women are not trusted. So that is something we have to challenge. That is something we have to talk about as an important political issue, and I'm really pleased that you're talking about it here today. But back to stigma, that's not going to go away unless we allow and support women to speak out. Because when we start letting women speak out, first of all, we understand what kind of numbers we're talking about. So we don't know the numbers, right? Because women do not report necessarily violence because they're embarrassed about that, or they don't want their parents to know, or their spouse to know, or anyone else to know. But if we were to provide the space for women to do it in a way that they then do not take the blame, I think we would see the numbers go up. Which is not to say that the phenomenon is going up, it's just that the reporting is going up because women are starting to feel confident about talking about these issues. And that's what we should strive for, so that there's not the additional layer of guilt, shame, stigma, and doubt that's added to the grueling physical violence they have endured.
Okay. Can I just add one point to that, which is around work that our Department for International Development is doing in the Northeast on stigma and in preventing sexual violence in conflict. So again, some of the girls that have been taken by Boko Haram, not just the Chibok girls famously, of course, but other girls, lots of them, who are sexually abused by Boko Haram. Many of them then, of course, as we know, are used as suicide bombers. We're doing some work with some of the victims of sexual violence in conflict in the Northeast in Maiduguri. We're helping them to come to terms with that. We're setting up sexual abuse referral centres. So there's some very practical work which the UK government is doing, in particular in the Northeast of Nigeria.
Okay, just as we wind down, I was going to ask you, but what can we do to help the men value the women more so that the issues of violence can come down? But then let's look at this thing about Orange Spotlight Day.
The orange.
Okay, well, we've got that to start with.
Let's
Yes.
talk about that.
Yeah.
So that, is it just for the 16 days or beyond that? And what about the Spotlight Day?
Well, I mean, the orange is the colour of the campaign, but it doesn't mean to say that you can't wear. I mean, we all look good in orange. Maybe we should be wearing orange more often. The orange colour, but it is a symbol, if you like, a way of reminding people that this is an issue and raising the profile of the issue. I'm going to answer the question that you were going to ask me, but didn't. So, what can we do about men and respect? I think that's got to start at the very early stages, within families, within schools, demonstrating to young boys that they have to respect girls and women.
Okay, so the 22nd, there's something on the Orange Spotlight Days from the 22nd of November all through to December the 10th. You see that, how the different days, what they are meant for. So in your dressing,
You may
male,
want to add
female,
a touch of
a touch of orange
That's
somewhere.
Pass on the
that's a great
message.
idea.
You can get an orange wristband and all of that up till December the 10th. And in all of this...
And of course, the conversation should continue beyond
And
conversation.
that.
beyond, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So in your closet, on the road, in your car, talk about it. What can we do to help end violence against women and girls and men as
men
well?
too.
But we have to end it. At this point, Mr. Paul Arkwright, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, and Mrs. Laurie Beaufils, Deputy British High Commissioner to Nigeria. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and may the orange color spread.
Indeed. Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
having us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Sunrise will be back shortly. Please don't go away.